So I'm here with my wife, right? I'm here with my wife. We've been married, we have the career, we have the kids, we have everything that we're supposed to have, right? Looks good. We barely have sex.
Right.
Okay. So like that like good sex life is not a part of our lives anymore.
Right.
Because we're faithful. We don't cheat.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not hooked on porn, whatever, but it's like, what happened? How do we get that back? We don't fight. I don't feel like that kind of. So I'm here to see you because my wife and I, we have lost that good sexual attraction where we used to really be into each other that way. And now it's almost like we have sex to say that we did, because that's what married couples do. And we don't want to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Is it over?
No, it's not over. And that was it. There are two things that we would want to approach this problem from, two directions. And of course, they're interrelated, right? One is on the level of attachment. And can we make it safe for you guys emotionally to show up and talk to each other? Because if we can make it your relationship a safer emotional container where you can really tell each other what your feelings are and what your experience are, and understand the ways in which that's difficult for both of you, we might create the environment that makes it more likely that you're going to be able to be sexually intimate with each other, right? The other thing is almost all relationships are going to have to make the transition from sexual intimacy that is inspired by simultaneous, like, ooh, I'm so excited. I came home from work today and you looked hot. It's like, oh yeah, well, the way you're looking at me, I feel like going upstairs too, right? Like, waiting for those moments to be what inspires us to have sex is like, that's ridiculous, right? Because it is going to happen less and less, right? So sex has to be approached differently. There's this awesome couple that specialize in this kind of work up in Petaluma called Jim and Felicia Mateo Shepherd. And their work is all about helping couples to move towards what they refer to as heart-centered sexuality, right? And there's a few main steps to that. One is we have to give up this notion that we're going to be sexually intimate out of like inspiration. Like it's just going to, like, something's going to take over our bodies and we're just going to want to do it, right? We're going to have to actually work at it and plan it and schedule times we're going to be intimate with each other, right? I know, and this is really hard, right, for people to imagine doing, right? But so here's the thing. And then the other thing is like, right, it's also the people that actually have sex with each other are probably going to have to change. And here's what I mean by that, right? When I met my wife, for example, right, and I met Teale at Esalen, right? My sexy self, right? Sexy Figs, hello, right? Met my wife's sexy self, right? We were both like, oh, hello, ooh. And it was like, love lost at first sight, right? Right. So come here. They're not the people that have sex with each other now. Now, right, all these years later, my like, oh shit, am I going to be a disappointment tonight? Like, oh God, do I not want it as much as I should right now, right? That vulnerable, snivelly, like, Shrek-looking character, right, has to go and have sex with my wife, who is also like, oh my God, am I not as desirable as I once was? I'm like, you not really want me as much as you did before. These two vulnerable people now have to come together and be sexually intimate with each other, right? If we don't make space for our vulnerable selves to be the ones that have sexual intimacy with each other, yeah, we probably are going to end up spending more and more time not being intimate with each other, right? Again, we gotta take what's implicitly happening and make it explicit. Sex has become a vulnerable thing. It's already implicitly vulnerable. There's this innate need inside us as human beings to be emotionally bonded with another, right? It's there because without it, we will not survive, right? Babies will die without being emotionally bonded to another person. Our whole physiology is built, right, to freak out if there isn't someone there for us who loves us and will care for us and that we're enough for them. So that's one physiological process that's ongoing throughout the course of our life. Now, there's another physiological process that's ongoing over the course of our life, that we want to mate, that we want to have sex, that we find people attractive and we go, ooh, would you look at that? Like, well, hey, right? And obviously those two sync up perfectly sometimes. Like in the moment you meet your future spouse, they're perfectly synced. Whoa, you are hot, and I'm hoping you'll become my primary attachment figure, right? Brilliant. There are going to be moments in your life when those two things aren't perfectly in sync. They may seem like they're contradicting each other. Life is not so simple. Anyone that tells you the monogamous path is easy is having a laugh. It's not easy, right? There are going to be moments where you're going to be challenged. You're going to see things inside yourself you don't like. You're going to have longings that don't fit inside the boundaries of your relationship, right? But come here, anyone that tells you like open relationship, being single and dating, like polyamory is a piece of cake and that's an easy life, they're having a laugh, right? It's not, it's going to be hard. And so again, can we take what's implicitly happening, create a safe environment in our relationship so we can be explicit about it, and then really be able to share and explore the feelings, right? Most important to me in my own relationship, and what I primarily work on in helping people, is I help people create a safe container between two people in their relationship, right? So that both people can feel you're really there for me and I'm enough for you, right? That's the most important thing. Now, sex touches those things. Are you really there for me if you don't desire me anymore? Right? Maybe it's going to bring up really vulnerable feelings. Are you really there for me? Am I really enough for you if I don't desire you as much anymore and you're really upset with me about it? Right? It's really painful. So let's make it explicit. Let's feel the feelings. And here's the crazy magical thing that can happen between people. Doing that can make people feel so close to each other, so understood by each other, right? That it can be the perfect setting for people to actually feel safe, to love each other and cuddle each other and even get a little frisky.